What's happening in the agricultural space? Last month, we got a tough quarter from AGCO. It's the maker of big-ticket farm equipment. Yesterday, though, AGCO hosted an analyst meeting while they set some encouraging long-term financial targets for 2029. Their forecast for 2025 came up a tad short, but crop prices aren't in good shape. And when farmers make less money, they buy less machinery. As a result, AGCO stock dropped more than 3% yesterday. Even though it erased most of those losses today, it's still down over 20% for the year. So could this be a good entry point, or do we need to worry about more pain to come? Let's check in with Eric Hansotia. He's the chairman, president, and CEO of AGCO to get a better read of the situation. Mr. Hansotia, welcome back to Mad Money.
Happy holidays, Jim.
Oh, same to you, Eric. Now, I've got to tell you that there's been times when the farmer did badly and AGCO did worse. I think you've changed that. I think you can now kind of outrun the cycle because of changes that you've made. And I want you to tell people how this is no longer, you're not hostage.
Right. This is a fundamentally different company. You know, in the last cycle, we had, at the trough, we had 4% margins. At the peak, 8%. We were like a 6% company. When I first came to Wall Street taking the job, we said we're going to be 10% at the mid-cycle. We hit that. Then we raised the bar to 12% a couple years ago. We're on track to hit that. And yesterday, we announced we're going to be more like 14 to 15% over the next few years. So excited about the structural change we've been building into the company.
Well, I'm glad you had the analyst day because I think people do remember the old one. And that's why the stock is down so much, because your technology that you're offering, the need to be able to get new equipment if you want to be able to be more productive is so self-evident that it's not the AGCO that I always like the AGCO bold. I don't want to, no one to disparage, but this is a very different AGCO.
Absolutely. You know, we closed on the biggest ag tech deal in the history of our industry this April. It was a big tech deal to accelerate our journey on tech. We're controlling what we can control. We're gaining market share, investing in technology, improving our margins. The cycle of the whole industry is down right now. Probably will be for a little bit more, maybe a couple more quarters, but 25 is going to be the bottom. And when this market starts taking off, which it will, this company is ready to run.
I'm also glad to hear, I've always heard gem when associated with Fendt, but I never saw the money put behind it. That's changed.
Yes. Fendt is one of our big growth drivers. We've moved it out of a European tractor business to a full-line equipment business that we're taking global, especially in North and South America. And the customers that get to appreciate the Fendt experience love it. They won't go back. They say
do we even tell people what they do? They may not be as familiar with
so Fendt is our premium brand that sits at the very top of the market. It's the best of the best tractor, combine, planter, sprayer. And essentially, it's best in technology, best in quality, and then our dealers are trained to have best in support. So it's just the best of the best for the most demanding farmer. And this Fendt experience is one that once customers taste it, they really love it, and they won't go back. So we're steadily growing in both North and South America.
Now, at the same time, the farmers, like let's take South America. Like I look at some of the countries there, they'll have a terrible weather position, and then that does really severely impact your sales.
Yeah, weather's something the farmers can't control, but they kind of know that. You know, they have years where things go their way, and sometimes they don't. So they know how to manage that. They kind of keep an equity position in their business, and that happens every year somewhere in the world. So that farmers understand that.
Well, here's what I'm going for. Yesterday, I had Sean Connolly. He's the president and CEO of Conagra Brands.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was saying that inflation is intractable because of eggs and animal protein. Now, I hear that, and I think, why can't they produce more and take advantage of these higher prices? It just doesn't work like that, though.
Well, poultry's going to respond faster, and that's what he had said as well. Beef takes a little longer. You know, beef was under such pressure, and so the herd was reduced quite a bit. But now it's being built back. It just takes 2 or 3 years for that cattle to mature to a point where it's beef ready.
Now, what is precision ag doing for someone who wants to take advantage of the need to have more animal feed? What can they do that they couldn't do before?
Well, essentially, our precision ag is to help the farmer grow more yield, have more bushels per acre, and manage their inputs more effectively. A couple of the exciting ones, we're now selling an autonomous kit. You put this kit onto a tractor, and it allows you to pull the operator right out of the seat. No person in the tractor. So as the combine, which is harvesting the crop, is harvesting, as it fills up and gets full, it summons the tractor. The tractor drives alongside the combine, no operator in it, locks in with the combine. The combine unloads the grain. In fact, I think you're seeing it right. Well, this is forage, but the one before that was grain. It unloads the grain when the combine's empty. It hits release, and the tractor drives off. No operator in it at all. So those are all things that help with labor and help with keeping that combine running at full optimization. We have an AI operation or AI system on our sprayers where the cameras can tell the difference between a weed the size of a dime versus a corn plant or soybean and only spray the weeds instead of having to spray the whole field. Saves a lot on input. So one's helping yield, the other one's helping inputs. Those are all to help make the farmer more productive.
How old is the average tractor in the world? I mean, there must be a refresh cycle. You can't just I know you can take care of these, and the farmers are incredibly resourceful. But at a certain point, don't they just say, listen, I can't get the yield that I would if I just go to AGCO?
Well, so this is a really important point. AGCO is the only company in the market that thinks about retrofit. So a typical tractor lasts 15 or 20 years, same thing for, but that technology gets refreshed much faster than that. So we have a whole tech division, which was accelerated by the tech business that we bought this spring, made a joint venture. And essentially, we'll sell a module onto an existing planter or sprayer, and it doesn't matter which brand. So we serve all farmers of all brands. It could be our competitor number one or competitor number two, could be 5 years old, 10 years old, and we'll upgrade that machine directly for the farmer to make it have new capability.
Well, look, I've got to tell you, I just feel for you because the farmers, they've got, the weather bad, but you know what does matter, though, is that if they want to get more out of their field, which is a substantive thing, they can go to AGCO, and that's why I think, as you said, when 25 comes around, you have to be in. There have been some runs in AGCO that are staggering. They're just staggering, and I think these will be a little smoother, which means that it's not going to be as tough for the portfolio manager to buy. I want to thank you, Eric Hansotia, Chairman, President, CEO of AGCO. Very cogent analyst day. You can find all about it. If you like ag, this is the way to go. Made Money's back after the break.
Thank you.